Oh, hey, welcome. We have a podcast. You should listen to it. Let us entertain you.
Yeah, we're gonna entertain you like this.
That's a little too much energy.
Oh,
Like
okay.
we're not doing accordion. We're gonna be nice and calm. I'm really bad at this. But yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. Woo!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Frogcast.
Welcome back to Frogs and Grog, baby.
I keep doing the thing where I count down 3, 2, 1, and then our software counts down 3, 2, 1 every single time.
Every time. It's great. Oh man, you know what I realized recently? Actually, time is flying by a lot faster than I thought. Like I totally forgot Thanksgiving is coming. Thanksgiving is next week.
Yep, we did Thanksgiving recordings.
We did do a Thanksgiving recording, but no, it totally caught me off guard because I've just been like, yeah, doing it on my grind set working or whatever, and now it's just like, wait a minute, Thanksgiving's next week. When did that happen?
I know, right? Just on that grind.
On
no
that
time
grind.
for anything else.
Oh yeah. But anyways, welcome to this episode of Frogs and Grog. Today, we're gonna talk about our top 6 animes.
Yay!
Like the ones we like the most that are in our top 6. Anyways, it's gonna be sick. I'm not a huge weeb, so I've only watched 6. That's why we chose 6.
I'm a mega weeb, and I could talk about anime for years.
Yeah, so I am not really competing very much here, but I've watched a little bit of anime. So, do you want to start with your number 6, Levi?
Yes, I will. Okay, so what I have is Full Metal Alchemist, and we've talked about this one before.
I haven't watched it, but
you still haven't watched it. I think you should, or you can read. I have the whole manga set, so it's over there.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I have the nice books too.
You have all 18 of them. Jeez.
Yep. It's a very good series about 2 brothers who commit a sin and then have to deal with the consequences.
Interesting.
It takes place in a magical world where alchemy is like the main magic system, which basically you can change things into other things. And that's pretty much the story. There's a mystery aspect to it. There's a lot of good characters. Some of my favorite characters ever. Their teacher is definitely one of the best characters.
Huh.
I'm not going to spoil anything as you haven't seen it.
Right.
But very good show and book. And is it anything else? No, just show and book. Very good.
W. Okay, my number 6 spot. I put Chainsaw Man.
Ooh.
So, for a little bit of background in my anime experience, I was introduced to anime by my older brother. And we were watching some anime, and I'll get to what we were watching in a little bit here. It's a little higher on my list. But this is one of the first ones that I went and watched on my own without any influence from anyone. And honestly, I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to have more content, but it's not as good as some of the other ones on this list. But this is one of the first ones where I started to branch out. It was definitely a little more violent, but I like the action-packed ones more. But I really enjoyed it because lots of blood and fighting. I like all that. It's very fun, and you'll kind of see that in some of my choices here.
Yep, that one's a little bit higher on my list. It takes place of 3 for me. I really like it. On my background for my desktop is actually a Chainsaw Man image. So
W.
Yeah, that one's very good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've been reading the manga recently, and it's ahead of the anime, and it just gets better. I love it so much.
That's fun. Yeah, see, I'm sure I would rank it a little higher if I knew more of what was going on, just because there's only 1 season of the anime right now. Now, number 5.
Number 5. I need to pull out my list again. Hold on. We just had somebody ring my doorbell, and
30,000 times.
30,000 times.
It was a lot.
So my next one is Toilet Bound Hanako-kun.
What?
Now, this one sounds a little weird. I also have that manga on my shelf. I buy manga after I like an anime and watch it.
How many
So-
of those are there?
So there's it. That one's still currently releasing,
Oh my god.
but there's like 17 or 18 books right now.
Jeez.
So this one is about the toilet ghost. So there's a legend in Japanese mythology about toilet bound, or the Hanako the toilet ghost. And basically it's just a ghost that haunts the toilets. You'll see it in a lot of Japanese media, like The Legend of Zelda has references to it. Other shows like Ghost Stories, which another good anime, but not on my top.
Mm-hmm.
They have references to it, but this one has kind of a different take. It's really good about paranormal stuff, and I'm a super like paranormal type investigation, all that stuff. I love
Right.
that stuff.
Right.
We play Phasmophobia a
Oh
lot.
yeah. Oh yeah.
We've done ghost hunts. You've seen them.
Uh-huh.
More to come.
More to
hopefully.
come, hopefully.
But yeah, it's just a really good series about that. It also has mystery aspects. Probably don't want to spoil it
Yeah.
in case you actually want to watch it or read it.
Yeah.
It only has one season, and I think that they stopped production on it, unfortunately.
Really?
Which is like, oh, that sucks. But
maybe you didn't
really good.
perform as good as it should have.
yeah,
but
I don't think it ended up performing as well. But
I was gonna say,
I personally really like it.
yeah. That sounds interesting. I don't know. My number 5 is One Punch Man.
Ooh,
I love One Punch Man to death because it takes, like, I mean, it's definitely action packed, but it takes that to a whole new level just because it's just ridiculous and making fun of that. Obviously, it's all sarcasm, making fun of how powerful superheroes are and all that.
making fun of
but-
how powerful anime characters
Yeah,
as well.
specifically, anime characters, but it's also just really freaking cool to see Saitama punch through a fucking mountain.
Yeah.
I think that is the coolest thing ever. But
Uh-huh.
no, I really enjoyed that, and I also really love kind of the world that is built around it, like all the hero system and stuff like that, but also like how they're all basically corrupt and only do hero work for like rank climbing
Clout
and
and
stuff and
money.
clout and money, and and it's like, but it's also really funny to see Saitama like not actually succeed in getting really high up on it, even though he's literally the most powerful man on the planet.
I also think it's funny how Saitama just trained, like just did some basic workouts.
All he did was basic workouts,
and he went bald because of the training.
Yeah, that's right. No, but it's definitely a lot more goofy.
Mm-hmm.
But I also love the action in that one, and the goofiness also makes it more enjoyable. This is another one that my brother showed me, or this is one of the first ones my brother showed me, and it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, this one's not on my list, but it's like the next one's down.
Yeah, no,
So
it's definitely a top 10.
It's a top anime, top tier.
Top tier. It's really good,
It
and
is
they're still
so
working on that
good.
one too. I think they're working on a season 3 right now.
Oh, that's so sick.
I haven't watched season 2 yet, but after season
I
1,
can't find season 2 on
Season
most
2
places.
is really hard to
it's
find.
It's like evading me.
Yeah, because I own it. The only place I was able to find it was on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, really?
And I had to buy it.
I might have to go buy that.
But it's like $20, I think, for the whole season. Yeah, no, it's a little stinky, but no, yeah, that's my number 5. I love One Punch Man. One
Punch Man, one of the best. Okay, number 4. So for me, number 4 is Konosuba.
Never heard of that one either.
So this one is a comedy anime. It's an isekai, and if you don't know what that is, basically person gets whisked into another world, and they're given like some kind of special skill or something that makes them better than everyone else. And most of the time they're really boring and formulaic and just kind of garbage. It's like the medical drama of American TV
Yeah.
of anime.
Just
Just overdone, constantly just I get tired of it.
Yeah.
But Konosuba does it differently. So basically, the main character, instead of getting a high power skill or something, the goddess who's rebirthing him into the next world really pisses him off. So he chooses to take her with him instead of power. But little does he know, she's pretty much useless. So he ends up having to build himself up from the bottom in this new world with a useless person tagging along with him.
That's actually really
and
funny.
he has to go kill the demon lord, but
Ah.
he keeps running into useless teammates. So that's pretty much the
So
plot
he's literally
points of
just
it.
carrying the entire team.
Yeah, he
That's
has to
actually
try
really
to
funny.
carry them, but he's also just a really bad person as well. So it makes it pretty funny.
That's funny. I'm actually gonna have to check that one out for sure.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. Okay. My number 4. Let's see. This is one I've actually been watching recently, and it's a Netflix one. It's Baki. I've really enjoyed Baki. Baki basically is about a kid in Japan who's considered Japan's best underground fighter or whatever, and 5 criminals from around the world, 5 of the most dangerous death row inmates escape their prisons and come challenge him to a fight. And it's really interesting. I mean, I just like the violent aspect of it. I like the fighting. I think the fighting is fun, and don't get me wrong, it's like drawn out and dramatic and whatever, and all a lot of the fighting is more talking and stuff like that. But for some reason, I just find it really enjoyable, and it's definitely a little different from stuff I've watched before. But the one thing I didn't like about it was that a lot of the like first bit of it doesn't even feature the main character.
Oh,
and
yeah.
up until later in the season, and then they released a new show that I need to go watch. But it's interesting. It's definitely really interesting. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Good.
I still need to go
anime.
watch that one because you've recommended it to me before, and it sounds interesting, but I don't have Netflix currently.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Number 3 for me is Chainsaw Man, as I said before.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. I really like the main character, Denji.
Yeah.
Just his simplistic ideals.
Yeah. All bro wants is some titty action, bro.
Yeah, he just wants to cop a feel, and
he just wants to cop a feel.
That's his main reason for doing what he does.
It's so funny, but it's like honestly kind of realistic. Like I could see that happening.
Yeah,
Like,
and what I like about it is how like once he reaches that specific goal, he's like, that kind of sucked. and it's like, well, yeah, that's kind of how it is if you make like a shallow goal. So
yeah,
if you have a better goal, then
right,
it typically feels a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But
mm-hmm.
I just really like how it approached that whole theme.
Oh yeah, no, it's
very good.
Yeah, it's also just really funny.
Yeah,
it's just stupid funny.
It's stupid funny.
Yeah, no, good show. I love Chainsaw Man. Okay,
yes.
My number 3 is the first anime I ever watched, and this is what got me into anime. My Hero Academia. I love My Hero. Honestly, like, don't get me wrong, definitely over dramatic, especially main character, dude.
Yeah,
dude. Midoriya, man, that guy. Oh my gosh, he's definitely. A lot of people can't stand him, but I love the show just because like it's a different take on superheroes than like we're used to in normal like US media, where like basically everyone has powers and everyone can develop their powers, but they're like really weird powers too, not just like, oh yeah, I have super speed. No, I can shoot tape from my elbows. I have a belly button laser, like, dude, and they make it useful, and I think that's super cool. And the fact that the main character yet doesn't have any powers, and you get to follow his journey, like trying to get powers and develop the ultimate power, you know. I just love watching that progress. And honestly, though, it like even if the characters are a little cringy, like it has a really good story.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
It's really cool seeing this power that was passed down from like generations of superheroes to this kid who has to figure out how to use this power, even though he's never had it before. Like he's never had a power. But anyways, it's super cool. I highly recommend. Definitely a little dramatic, but
And the fandom,
Oh.
very toxic.
Fandom's very toxic.
Don't,
The fandom is very weird. Don't get me wrong.
don't communicate with the fandom.
Don't talk to the fandom. Just watch the show and
watch the show and
like,
enjoy it if you like it, or don't watch it.
Or just don't watch it if you don't like it. But like, dude, oh man, the fandom is so crazy with My Hero. Oh man,
yeah.
And
I think that I can't remember. This might be spoilers, but I think that they made like the person writing it, because of the fandom, he changed something major in the story. I can't
remember if he did or not, but
or it was talked about or something.
Or talked about, yeah. No, I'm currently caught up on the show, and I'm excited for the next season to come out.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go rewatch it with my brother, actually. But yeah, no, good show. W show. Definitely a couple cringe parts, but honestly, really good. I highly recommend.
Very good. That brings us down to number 2. So number 2 for me is a show called Nichijou, and
never heard of
this. Is a shit post of anime.
Oh no!
Basically, it's have you ever watched like the slice of life ones, where it's just like somebody's life, basically, like their high school experience, all that.
Right.
It's that, but the writer was on crack. I swear to God.
Oh no.
There's one character, they're just a robot for no reason. All the scenes in the show and manga, they're like way over dramatized, I'm gonna say, but like not in a bad way, in a very comedic fashion.
Okay.
Essentially. It's really good show. Also, if you're working on learning Japanese, it's a very good show to listen to for practice, because they use a lot of really normal speech that you would hear in like a typical classroom setting, and they use they talk a lot slower.
That's good to know. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very helpful for listening practice. So
wow, huh.
That's
actually really cool.
Yeah.
No, I'll definitely have to check that one out too. I love how I'm just listing all the generic ones, and then it's just every single one you've talked about I've never heard of except for Chainsaw Man. Oh, that's really funny. But that shows you how much of a weeb nerd you are.
Yeah, it does.
Coming up with another generic one. My number 2 is Demon Slayer. I love Demon Slayer with a passion. This is another one my brother showed me too when we were first getting into it. Oh my gosh, it is so cool. The breathing techniques and stuff like that is super cool. I love the story, and I love the whole idea of trying to kill the Lord of the Demons, Michael Jackson, you know.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, Lord of the Demons.
I mean, the guy looks like Michael Jackson.
No, that's fair.
It's kind of funny. But no, I really love the characters. And again, this one's a little, like, it's got very dramatic characters. But I think that adds to this story just because the story is kind of dramatic. It's very intense. I definitely found myself, like, you know, clenching up in fear of, like, what's going to happen to the characters? Are they going to be okay? That sort of thing. You know, and no, it's definitely had good moments and like made me. And I've had good moments with it. I have bad moments with it. I've cried because characters have died or have gotten close to it, and I'm like very attached to the characters. But no, it's got a really good story. Got great characters. Got great magic system. Like, it's very well crafted, and I really enjoy the adventure and the action there.
Yep, that one's definitely a really good one. I don't put it quite as high, but that one's definitely on the level with like One Punch Man.
Oh yeah,
all those. Maybe just below my top list for me.
I've noticed you like the comedic ones a little more.
Yeah, I'm a lot more of a comedy person than action person. So
I think I know what your number one's going to be.
Yeah, I think you could guess.
Right.
You, the listener, could guess what it is, because I've talked about it before, and it's One Piece, obviously.
Yeah,
it's basically action comedy. It goes through all walks of genre, pretty much. I would say.
Yeah.
It just has really funny scenes, really high highs, really low lows. It's perfect for me. I love pirates as well. So fits all the right boxes.
I need to like get into One Piece. I've watched a couple episodes and I've started watching it, but like I don't know. I need to get into it a little more. I'm
Mm.
also like the animation style is just a little goofy.
It changes.
It changes.
It changes
Okay.
about half or like 300 episodes in the animals.
Okay.
It slowly changes throughout all the seasons,
Right.
but just slightly. And then after a while, it starts getting good. Like some of the more recent seasons, they look so good.
Okay. I was just gonna say. I mean, it is a really old show. It's been going on forever, but
Yeah,
yeah, no, it's like if it's hard to watch because the animation looks weird, it makes it hard for me to
I
watch it
believe
personally.
that
But
they remastered it
okay.
and on Crunchyroll.
Oh, I don't watch it on
So they have
Crunchyroll,
they
yeah.
have a remaster
Oh,
on that
interesting.
one.
Well, what's your
looks a little
take?
bit
Have you
better.
watched the Netflix? I guess you don't have Netflix. But...
I've watched the Netflix show.
Oh, what do you
I-
think about that?
I actually liked it. My only problem with it, and it's not like a super big problem because it's a remake, so they're obviously not gonna have all of the exact same stuff happen.
Oh yeah.
But it kind of removes a little bit of the comedy
Mhm.
of the show, which I think really adds to it, and it removes some of the personality of the characters.
Mm.
But that's because they want to make it shorter and more digestible for audiences. So I
Right.
get why they did it,
Right.
and I think it's a fair compromise.
Mhm.
But I think that One Piece is more of like a character-driven show more than anything.
Right.
Like it's less about plot and more about character, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I think removing character was kind of like an interesting choice.
Yeah.
But
So it was kind of a miss. You think maybe?
I don't think it was a miss.
You don't think
I
it was
think
a
it
miss?
was. I think it was good.
You think it's just different than the actual show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
so.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. My number one of all time, and this is one I went and watched by myself. I love this show to death. Speaking of death, Death Note. I love Death Note because, I'm super into like the action fighting stuff, but this was just so different from anything I've ever watched. Don't get me wrong, there is definitely a slow part in this show. If you've ever watched Death Note, halfway through the show, it kind of like stops.
It halts.
It
halts
definitely
pretty
halts.
hard.
But if you can make it through that, oh my gosh, I love how like smart they just all are. It blows my mind every time they're just like, yeah, so this is my plan, and oh man, like how do I make this work and all this stuff, and it's so intellectual, and it blows my mind every time. And then obviously there's still some action with the cops and everything like that, and trying to find Kira and stuff like that, and it's so good. I honestly enjoyed this one so much. This is one of the first ones I watched as without my brother, other than Chainsaw Man. This one and Chainsaw Man were two of the ones and they're very different, but I think I enjoyed this one overall the most. And it's kind of a slow show, but once you get into it, you're into it. I just got sucked in and watched the entire thing over like a couple of days, and oh my gosh, I loved it so much. Anyways, it's great, and I actually personally like really hate true crime, and we can talk about this some other time. I hate true crime.
We could talk about this now.
We could talk about this now. You know what? I'll talk about why I hate true crime really quick here. I hate true crime because it scares the living crap out of me, because it's stuff people actually did. True crime scares me more than any horror movie because it shows how despicable humanity is.
Just the depravity
and
is so, and it's so messed
up. And the fact that people actually do this shit, it is so messed up and so gross. And the fact that people are also glorifying these people by making movies and shows about them. It's like, dude, like the Dahmer show. Why would you glorify Jeffrey Dahmer and make a documentary about this motherfucker? Like, he doesn't deserve that. He does not deserve his name to be famous like that, other than for the fact that he killed people. Like, it's almost like, oh man, it's
like a celebrity of the worst possible way.
It is turning, anyways, criminals into celebrities. I just don't like it, and I don't like the idea behind making all that stuff popular. Now, like, I understand if you're like watching police shows, that's a little different. Like, police shows are fine, but like if you're watching documentaries on killers, sometimes I mean they're just so gross. And then some of them, like the Dahmer show, will make them popular, and it's not cool. In my
Yeah.
opinion, that's just me. I might be completely wrong to some people, but
The only true crime that I really like to watch is interrogation room footage.
oh, okay,
So
that's interesting.
it's true crime. Like, you get the full story of what's happening and why they're
Right.
in the interrogation room,
right.
but just watching the people crack after a while, like especially when they crack,
Yeah,
it's crazy because like
it's scary.
you see the people and you're like, they look like a normal person. They probably didn't do this, right?
Yeah, and then they're like,
But
no,
then eventually, after the police do some interrogation techniques, some people they just full on admit
they're like,
to the crazy.
yeah, no,
shit.
I killed that person and like cut him up into pieces because Satan told me to. Like,
Yep.
dude, oh my gosh, no, yeah, no. Again, I can't deal with that stuff where it's like, these people are just pure evil. So that's my thing. But I like that, that Death Note takes kind of that true crime feel, but makes it hard to choose who's in the right and who's a good person, who's not.
I disagree.
I don't know,
I think
but
here,
like,
I think that the,
no,
the main
don't get me
guy
wrong.
is,
At the
he's
beginning,
pretty bad.
no, pause. At the very beginning, you're kind of just like you could see from the bad guy's point of view, and you can understand why he thinks he's doing something right, but it's wrong. It's wrong, but you can kind of see from their perspective. I think that's an interesting perspective.
I can agree with that.
It's an interesting
good
perspective on true crime, but also like throws in a little bit of wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff with the
full demon
with
aspect.
the demon aspect. But I think that makes it more fun too.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I don't know,
because it makes it not too serious.
Exactly, and then it's also interesting to see. Yeah, like it's hard to find shows where the villains win, but then like the villain is winning and then he loses, obviously the good guys end up winning in the end or whatever, but at some points the villain is winning and no one knows anything. But the whole idea of trying to keep your identity a secret and playing both sides and seeing it from the perspective of the main bad guy is really interesting to me. But anyways, I really enjoyed Death Note. Death Note's definitely my number one. It always has been. I don't know if it always will be, but for right now, always will be. So until I find something better that just for some reason just tops it. Yeah.
Well, everybody, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to our anime episode.
Comment down below or whatever platform this is on.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be on Spotify, so I think they usually have
like
poll type stuff. No, they have comments.
I think they must have some sort of commenting.
Well, comment down below what your favorite animes are.
Yeah,
and
let us know.
If you haven't watched any, go watch some of the ones we suggest.
There you go.
And tell us if you like them.
Yeah, no, good animes.
Yeah, these ones are officially the best ones.
Officially the best ones. There's nothing better than these 12 that we listed here.
Yeah, except for all the ones that are also good.
Shh.
We don't talk about those ones.
No, we are the official judges of that. But anyways.
Episode about why we're qualified in a future episode.
There you go. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one. Leaving so soon. Hope we see you next time.